Hello guys, Curedoopel here, and yeah, as always, this is my PoV when playing Murozond Rise 25 on Fire Mage. Actually, this run went pretty smooth for me, yeah, despite the fact that it's me playing, it went, yeah, 0 deaths and so on. Pretty good. So let me explain you what is happening here. In this dungeon, in the first platform, you will have 3 mini-bosses. And you can see the first of them is the big keeper, time-sworn keeper. And what he will do is that he will cast sometimes bulwark, which is the titaning bulwark, which is the shield on the floor. And when he's standing in it, he takes 50% reduced damage. So the tank want to move it out from this shield. But what is important here is you can see now I have a buff, because if you are in this shield, you get 50% reduced damage. So it can be useful sometimes. But usually you pull those mini bosses one at a time. Also here, what is important, that there are mages on the mobs called mages, and they cast sometimes a volley, which volley in World of Warcraft is always the spell that hits everybody, and it hits them quite hard. And this second mini boss is the maiden. And what she does is she casts the AoE spell, Ancient Radiance, that you can trigger some small defensive for it, but also she pulls this orb, and it's a little bit hard because you cannot, it's really barely visible on the floor. You can see the circle when she is casting it, and then it goes out and then in. So you need to dodge it twice, let's say. And that's pretty much it. But on the fortified wake, like this one, it's pretty deadly if you screw up a volley or something here. So this Infinite Twilight Magus, as you can see, marked as a pink on my screen, it's not actually a cast, normal cast, but it's interruptible only with CC or the like grips, or in this case Blast Wave. So Mage has 2 abilities to actually break it: Dragon's Breath and also Blast Wave. And this is the third boss, the Sentinel, and what he does is he casts a frontal and deals damage, of course, but when he finishes his frontal, which is the like leap forward, shrouding sand, you can see now, he is obscured in the circle, so you cannot hit him if you are outside of a circle. And also he starts casting. And this cast is pretty deadly when it goes off towards some player. So what you want to do is you want to enter the circle with Sentinel and interrupt him. Like I'm trying to do now, but the H was quicker this time. And Mage can blink into the circle, so it makes it a little bit easier for mages, I think. And basically don't let the mages to cast volley, and it's pretty much this. Here we leave some mobs, so we need to be careful. Not to pull them accidentally when doing the boss. Yeah, and I was here. I lose the SKB procs because this boss has quite some time to load. Probably it can be done somehow that tank can pull it. You can see I'm playing the fire starter. I'm not sure actually why, because I don't usually do it, but yeah. And regarding this boss, pretty simple mechanics. So basically you avoid frontal like I did. There is a soak like you see on the screen. You need to soak it with other people, and also you need to put some defensive on because it hurts, especially on the tyrannical. And now there is an intermission, so boss cast on a shield on himself, and you need to collect the orbs. And these orbs, when are not soaked, I'm actually no idea what happens, but then it's probably not a good idea to let it through. But what is more important, if you catch them, they give you a haste, as you can see. So 50% more haste. And then you just repeat it over and the boss is dead. Also, he sometimes put a debuff on you, so it's a dot and you need to put some defensive. Yeah, now I soak with Invis and it's pretty easy. Yeah, now they don't let me to have more haste, so people sad. And this trash is a little bit scary on the fortified, because the Infinite Watchkeeper is casting huge AoE, and I think it's these mobs are twice in this dungeon. So Infinite Fury, you need the defensive, because as you can see it blasts like mad. Without defensive you are basically dead. And also you need to interrupt Marauder, which is handled by the melees in this dungeon. And you can see it casts it quite often, so now I put Ice Cold. Yeah, and you dodge Swirlies. Oh, and now I don't touch it. You can see what happens if you don't dodge it. And then Infinite Fury. And now I think it healed much on from the Sanguine. So this affix makes it even harder. You can see my defensives bar that is below my DPS cooldowns. It's like completely on cooldown. I used everything on this. And now this room is pretty freaking tragic. I mean, what you need to do here is to avoid orbs and avoid frontals, because if you do not do it, you are gonna be sent to the entrance. And the idea is that if someone do it, he can start casting opening a rift, which you can then skip this portal with. But you need to at least one person do it. And of course, if more people do it, more people cast this rift open, then it's quicker. So I do it, but they immediately open it. But I was not the last person here, so I'm happy. And here I did a pretty bad thing. I mean, you should Bloodlust here, because this is a pretty deadly trash on the fortified wicks. But you should focus the other dragon, because the other dragon is casting Infinite Fury. And this dragon is pretty useless, but I just don't know why yeah, this was a mistake. So the other is crucial. Yeah, probably we wouldn't have this Infinite Fury if I casted it, if I focused correctly. Yeah, now I realized it in Polish, sorry. By the way, let me know, because if you are from Poland and only watching this, I can also make videos in Polish, because yeah, I'm from Poland, basically. And this, I don't like this platform because I lose the DPS as a fire mage there always. There are some adds that dies really quickly, and they are not pulled in very big pools. So I'm basically, what I'm doing here is I'm waiting with my cooldowns for the Infinite Rift Mage, that you of course need to interrupt, but other than that there is no much to say about this platform. You need to kill this mage in order to activate the portals and also to clear the floor here from the sand. And you have some portals here that lines up with other portals, and it's weird. I mean, I have never seen that someone uses it to his advantage, actually. Yeah, here I used SKB with long combustion, but you see I have nothing to hit actually, so it's a little bit of a waste. I mean, it's much of a waste, but probably I screwed up. I should have left it for the Rift Mage. So what we are doing here, we are waiting for this Rift Mage to go to the left, and then we don't need to kill it, we just go through the portal. Which we don't do, because yeah, Tank says that we should go for Chromie. So this depends on your road, but we are doing Chromie first, just clearing here the place. So we'll not need to do this platform again, and yeah, flying. This takes a little bit of time. And now this trash, usually you can skip it if you have rogue or invisibles, but we are doing it because yeah, we need forces. And then I combust and use all my cooldowns. You just interrupt as normal. It's nothing special in this trash. Okay, so maybe I can start talking about Chromie. So Chromie is a boss that it's very annoying, at least to me, because you need to switch targets. Yeah, now the Sanguine affix is pretty crazy. This mob healed by 20%. Okay, tank already pulled Chromie. So I'm pulling with Bloodlust, which is a little bit of a waste, because she starts casting the more problems. And then there are clones of her with some hats, and the one without any hat, just with blue hair, is the real Chromie. And you need to hide behind her, because if you don't, you will probably get hit by this frontal, because she transforms into a dragon and casts a very big frontal. And this time traps is a second thing that she casts some. Put some hourglasses on floor, you cannot step in them. But also she casts fixations, like your clone is following you, and if he reaches you, he deals damage. And basically how to get rid of it is that it steps into the hourglass and it basically disappears. And my team is doing it with a different strategy, so they are just CCing the clones, but I'm not doing it. I don't know, it's not very, I mean, the pro players do it like this, but it's not very much of, for a mage, a big deal to, yeah, just go with it to the hourglass. But probably if you have a fixation on you, she will not cast another one. Yeah, maybe it's better, but yeah, I don't do it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to fuck up. I can do it like this, and I'm doing it like this. And also she does this frontal that your tank should probably keep away from you. But yeah, you should also be aware about it. And this is, yeah, you need to find this one without a hat, and this is pretty annoying because you can see now it changes. You lose focus on her. So if you are in the middle of combustion, it's pretty. Yeah. Pretty annoying.
What's this? A time relic? There's 2 arrows pointing to the right. We could have been friends in another time. She did have great hair.
And now they were asking, when do we bloodlust? Do we bloodlust the tank or the boss? And I was saying that boss is tricky. I have seen many pack groups actually dying on the boss. And now I use the portal to my advantage. Okay, so I take my words back, never mind. And yeah, we will end up actually bloodlusting on the tank, but a little bit delayed because I'm waiting for my cooldowns. And you will see.
The Horde and Alliance are fighting? This could be any point in time.
Yeah, this tank is pretty deadly. I have no idea, 14 MN. I don't have no idea what he meant by this. Yeah, but then I realized that this tank is maybe pretty deadly, so okay, let's bloodlust it, and I also have cooldowns. He cuts some mobs, also do a little bit of chaos around. And here I probably should have used alter time, but after all, the explosion doesn't hit so hard. And these mobs, yeah, you just need to kill them. They are not really doing anything, just interrupt them and don't stand in shit on the floor and you are Gucci. And so is the last boss, so it actually depends. I think it depends on the group, what fraction do you play. Because sometimes it's Anduin Rin and sometimes it's... I don't know which one, but one of the orcs. I don't know if it's Garrosh or some other. So we are fighting Anduin. And he casts for the Alliance, aka for the Horde. And then there are odds. And the odds are the hardest thing here. Other than that, he casts some frontals, like Shockwave, you need to dodge it. And the Blade Storm, as you can see, which is just... he's starting doing some whirl with his sword, and you need to avoid it. And adds, you need to kill them ASAP, casters are needed to be interrupted. And archers are, you need to break them, the casts, or use some kind of blast wave to, yeah, or grip them with the decay grip. It's probably a good idea. DH is freaking blasting here. Yeah, some misclicks also. Oh, and now I'm top DPS. Haha. Also, this boss is pretty deadly on the pugs. And as a fire mage, you don't really want to switch to adds from the boss, because it's more than enough that you hit them with your ignite damage, which is your probably the most significant damage in dungeons. But sometimes with the bad group, if you have really low damage on adds, you need to switch, and you lose overall DPS, so you just are slower. Oh, I'm not last DPS. Yes, indeed. I'm beating the DK by 1k. And now, of course, there is always the same thing. So the argument, who is doing orbs? So I'm suggesting the healer, because there are orbs to be done on the last boss. I will talk about them. And one range is doing it. So I'm telling, okay, healer, do it. And healer tells, okay, mage, do it. And then tanks. Yes, takes. He basically says in favor of healer that, yeah, healer should be in the range of healing. And then, as in the democracy, we decide that of course Mage is doing orbs. I mean, I may not argue, it's not a problem. I mean, Mage has a lot of defensives, it's very high mobility, so it's not a problem.
Have to make sure Murozond doesn't exist. Well,
Yeah, care here, but I have cooldowns with blood loss, and yeah, it's not a problem. Actually, I was lying to you. Here you have still the dragon that casts Infinite Fury, which is the third time in this dungeon, actually, and you need to put defensives. But it's a little bit enhanced because he casts also the boss ability. Last boss, this bronze exhalation, which is the frontal. Yeah, and melees interrupt the marauders. DH absolutely blasted this trash. Healer now popped up some cooldowns, so it didn't hurt that much. As you can see, we just hit the 100%, so we were really nicely. We had enemy forces nicely calculated. So we are now entering the last boss. And it's a little bit annoying that you have always this activation times. You need to wait until Romy stops talking and so on. So the last boss basically is two phases. That we have first phase, which is fighting the boss himself, but more than the boss, you fight his adds, because he's spawning adds that are casting some that are opening some rifts, and you basically don't want them to cast it, and you just need to hard swap to the adds on this key levels. And this is the orbs that I mentioned before that I am supposed to do, and basically it works like this. If the orb hits the floor, it deals damage. Pretty easy. and you have always 2 orbs. So if they both of them hit the floor at the same time, you get super big dam, because you have also the damage taken debuff, that 1 orb increases the damage that you take by other orbs. So if they land at the same time, you are screwed. But then if you stand in the circle on the floor, you can delay the because you slow down the orb, so you can delay the time when it hits the floor. Simple as that. So we just stand there, wait, and you can see now I a little bit screwed up, so the we took more damage. But then healer has more time to heal it up also. So and then in P2 it's rinse and repeat. You blast the adds and you do the orbs so they don't hit the floor at the same time. Ideally you want to debuff to be gone away after the second, before the second orb hits the floor. And now I have no idea what he tried to say, but probably that we have Bloodlust. Yeah, I took a lot of damage here, so I Ice Cold. We have no Bloodlust, but I have still it on CD, so I cannot use it. And also it doesn't make sense now because I don't have CDs. Yeah, maybe I could... because I always screw the thing that... I always use my personal Bloodlust and then I don't have it for the team Bloodlust. Which is not ideal, right? Because they are very angry. Why are you not using Bloodlust? And I just don't have it. It's on cooldown, and they don't know that I have personal Bloodlust. And also it's selfish. And I know it, but okay. Yeah, but as you can see, we finished boss. I was talking so much about that I forgot to mention about the second phase. So the second phase, you don't have adds, you just fight with the boss. You still do orbs, but one thing is that sometimes he spawns the infinite corruption, and this is swirlies on the ground that are changed in this golden sand, and you need to just avoid it. Dodge swirlies, kill the boss, do the orbs. And we are close to end. So to sum up, I died 0 times, which is pretty good for me. And also I was not last DPS, which is also pretty good for me. I didn't manage to beat the age, what you can, you know,
GG.
some things are...
Not last DPS.
Probably yes.
30 points.
I'm cheering.
GG.
Yeah, and I got 30 points. Thank you for watching.